So my name is Jeremy Carter. I'm Chief Development Officer with the National Association for Latino Community Asset Builders. We're proud to be supporting this conference for the third consecutive year. We really feel it is an imperative that we talk about economics when we talk about immigrant integration, to support the integration of immigrant families and businesses regardless of the industry and regardless of the size. They all matter in the economy, and we're happy to be here to help make that a reality. And so now we're ready to transfer into the last part of the conference. And so as we go from the panel, we'll be now hearing from Senator Bernie Sanders. And then later there'll be an announcement and closure about the NIIC conference in 2016. So please grab a cup of coffee and sit tight, and we'll get started. I'm now going to introduce to the stage the Executive Director of ISER in Illinois and a board member for MPNA, Mr. Lawrence Benito. He will be introducing the senator. So please give me a round of applause.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the NIIC's third Presidential Candidate Forum. As Jeremy said, thank you, Jeremy. My name is Lawrence Benito, and I'm the Executive Director of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights, the proud son of Filipino immigrants and a registered voter. During this conference, we will have heard from the three candidates, Democratic candidates, for President of the United States of America. Every presidential candidate was invited, without regard to their party affiliation, to educate us on their vision for building a successful nation of immigrants. The National Partnership for New Americans is a nonpartisan, and of course, we are not endorsing or supporting any candidate. We do ask that all the presidential candidates be given a warm and deeply respectful welcome to the NIIC. As I said before, this is our third and final presidential forum. This afternoon, we will hear from Democratic presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. I am a board member of the National Partnership for New Americans, which is the annual sponsor of the NIIC, because we believe in the New Americans' Dreams platform, our immigrant vision for building a welcoming and vibrant democracy. I am also the co-chair of the Fair Immigration Reform Movement, also known as FIRM, and we were honored to have Senator Sanders in our FIRM Summit last month in Las Vegas, where he shared his immigration story and his comprehensive immigration policies and platforms. For those that have not been following the presidential race, know that Senator Sanders has done more than anyone to put the issue of inequality at the center of debate in America's politics. We have heard the anti-immigrant rhetoric directed at Mexicans, at Muslims, and refugees across the country. And Senator Sanders has been a powerful voice against hate, speaking out on economic insecurity and inequality that fuels the politics of fear. So it is my honor to introduce to you a candidate for the President of the United States of America, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to be with you today. I apologize for not being able to make the conference, but congratulations on organizing this very important discussion. Let me begin right off by telling you that I intend, as a United States Senator and as a candidate for President of the United States, to do everything that I can in every way to combat the xenophobia and racist rhetoric coming from Donald Trump and others. This country has struggled throughout its history with racism, but we have come too far to retreat into these ugly and horrific sentiments regarding Latinos, regarding Muslims, and regarding other minorities. Trump has opened the door. Together, we are going to shut that door closed. As we celebrate our families and our friends this holiday season, and let me wish all of you a very happy holiday season. We must reflect upon the fact that not all families will be able to be together, and that millions of families have been torn apart by our broken immigration system. We cannot forget about the millions of aspiring Americans who continue to live in the shadows of our great nation, and the need to enact public policies which unite them and which end those divisions. Last Monday, I met with Santos Rivera, a 17-year-old young woman who fled El Salvador escaping violence. And she asked me, what does the word immigrant mean to me? And what I told her is that when I hear the word immigrant, I hear the story of my own father, who immigrated from Poland at the age of 17 without a nickel in his pocket. I realized, however, that many aspiring Americans today had to take a much more difficult journey, come from much more dangerous places than did my dad. But as the son of an immigrant, I can tell you that Santos's story, my story, your story, our story, is the story of America, the story of hardworking families coming to the United States to create a brighter future for their kids. It is a story rooted in family and fueled by hope. It is a story that continues to this day in families all across the United States. Last month, I introduced a detailed and comprehensive immigration plan, and I was delighted that this plan has won the support of many immigration activists throughout the nation. And in that regard, I look forward to working with all of you to see that this plan becomes implemented. I cannot, as president, nor can anyone else, do this alone. We need to work together, and I look forward to working with all of you to make sure that we implement real and comprehensive immigration reform. The fact is that record number of deportations and congressional dysfunction are just two of the many reasons why I am committed to do what I can as president to bring families together, not to separate them. Clearly, the best long-term solution is comprehensive legislative immigration reform. But until a legislative solution to the nation's outdated immigration system becomes a priority for Congress, I will examine a broad range of executive actions to be implemented as soon as possible in the face of a do-nothing Congress. I believe that President Obama did exactly the right thing through his executive orders to unite families. DACA and DAPA were good first steps, but much more needs to be done. Not only do I support a pathway to citizenship for immigrants already in the United States, but I also support extending DACA to parents of citizens, parents of legal permanent residents, parents of dreamers, and other immigrants who would have been given legal protections by the 2013 Senate-passed immigration bill. I am committed to dismantling inhumane deportation programs. As you may know, I have already introduced legislation that will end private prisons that profit from jailing immigrants, and I will make that happen. Together, we will reform a legal immigration system, establish parameters for independent oversight of key U.S. Department of Homeland Security agencies, and transform trade agreements that hurt the working class on both sides of the border and play a major part in forcing people to migrate. We need trade policies that work for working people all over the world, not just the CEOs of large multinational corporations. With regard to the child refugee crisis in Vermont, I was appalled that so many voices, including some within the Democratic Party, were insisting that large numbers of immigrant children at the border caught in a humanitarian crisis be sent back. The United States has an international responsibility to children and families seeking refugee status. I will also expand asylum programs for members of the LGBT community escaping mistreatment and abuse. I will expand the use of humanitarian parole to ensure the return of unjustly deported immigrants. The bottom line is that the United States must do the right thing and guarantee the swiftest possible reunification of these broken families. I will work to end federal programs that provide financial incentives to arrest and detain immigrants for routine traffic or other infractions. I will also work to enhance access to justice, proper legal counsel, and to reverse the criminalization of immigration. In my view, we should not deny a path to citizenship to an undocumented parent for re-entering this country after being separated from their children or for not having a driver's license. Moreover, I am the only candidate for the Democratic nomination that does not have a super PAC. I do not accept campaign contributions from multinational corporations. I do not accept contributions from the private prison industry. My campaign is funded by the people, not the billionaire class. Let us not just demand immigration integration, let us unite to make it happen. As a child of an immigrant parent, I saw firsthand my father's struggles to adapt. In today's world, parents often find themselves working 2 or 3 jobs and find it difficult, if not impossible, to fully integrate into American society. That must change. We need to make sure our local public schools, nonprofit organizations, our colleges provide flexible and effective programs that help immigrants navigate our society more fluidly by learning English, becoming civically engaged, and eventually becoming U.S. citizens. And finally, We, like any other nation in this world, must protect and secure our borders. As president, I focus not just on security, but also on making sure that those who work to protect our borders have the training and the resources they need to do their jobs well. Further, my administration will also be humane and compassionate. Our main goal must be to keep families together, not to tear them apart. However, my immigration plan is by no means the final product. Nobody knows everything. All of us have got to work together on this issue. Further, the Hispanic community, like every other segment of American society, is demanding major changes in our economy. We need to create millions of decent paid jobs, rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. We need to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour. We need pay equity for women workers. We need to make sure that every public college and university in this country is tuition free. All of our young people have fun to get a college education. We need to join the rest of the industrialized world and guarantee health care for all of our people as a right, not a privilege. We need to address the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality in this country and demand that the largest corporations and the wealthiest people finally start paying their fair share of taxes. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. Thank you for setting up this important conference, and thank you for everything that you do every day. And I want to now pass the microphone to Cesar Vargas, who was a key part of our Latino outreach effort as a dreamer, as an undocumented lawyer, and as somebody who was also born in Brooklyn. Cesar embodies the American dream. Thank you all very much. Together, we are going to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you everyone so much for staying. I know everyone has flights, and it's an honor to be here. And I want to thank everyone, all the organizers, for giving the opportunity to be here and speak with amazing leaders, amazing organizers that have really contributed to the course of a nation. But as Senator Sanders has said, we released a detailed immigration platform that is one of the boldest out there. But he emphasized this: our job is not over, and we hope to build upon this to make sure that we have the best immigration platform out there that's going to protect our families. Because this election is not about Trump. This election is not about the political pundits. For me, this election is just simply one thing: to make sure that I can have my mother protected, make sure that she sees her grandchildren and never has to worry about ever being deported and being separated from her family. And just thinking a few months ago and a few years ago, I didn't even have DACA. I didn't even have a work permit. I didn't even know I was going to even be licensed in the state of New York because I was undocumented. In 2015, 2016, I'm working in a presidential election. We are drafting the center's immigration platform. So we have power. Regardless of what the Donald Trump say, regardless of what the xenophobic voices say, we have power. Papers or not, we have the power to change the course of this nation, to make sure that we are protecting our families. And that is our objective in 2016. From closing detention centers to healthcare, we need to make sure that our undocumented community, aspiring Americans, have the healthcare, because this is something that's good for our society. Senator Sanders' platform is a great step to make sure that everyone has healthcare as a right. Other candidates disagree. Either you're with Dreamers or you're not. Either you're with our undocumented community or you're not. This campaign is about our families. This campaign is what the Senate has said. This campaign is about people, not billionaires. And most importantly, this campaign is about each and one of you. For us, we don't care about the big endorsements. We don't even care about the super PACs. We care about each and one of you here in this room, in Nevada, and across the nation, because Donald Trump and all Steve King, they're going to hear our voices in this election. And we're going to make this happen because we have the power to change a nation that we have made amazing contributions and amazing changes in policy. And the job's not done. So I want to thank every single one of you for giving me an opportunity. Steve, Javier, Make the Road, New York Immigration Coalition, for giving an opportunity for all of us to speak. So this election, it's about us. This election is about creating an economy that serves all Americans, regardless of immigration status or color. So we're going to make this happen in this election, and we're going to have our voting brothers and sisters, parents, go out there and make sure that our voice is heard in this election. So let's get this done. Thank you.